Hi, this is Dave Worden. I'm here today to talk about the sonic euphonium made by Adams. I don't have one with me right now. That's because I tried the sonic when I went to the International Tuba-Euphonium Conference in Tempe just a little while ago. But I had to return at some point, and I had to leave the sonic with the Adams people so they could take it to a different show. I don't have it with me today, but I did do a video, and you'll hear that shortly. The sonic is an exciting offering by Adams. It's a design that has often been used in the past by some companies, usually in more of a student line or intermediate line instrument. The sonic, on the other hand, takes the standard E1 euphonium of Adams, which was the first model euphonium they made, a professional quality euphonium, which is compensating. It removes the compensating system from the design and otherwise is the same. So it's still a professional quality instrument, but without the compensating system. For people who are playing in concert bands and doing some of the standard solos in the repertoire, not worrying about the most avant-garde or modern solos, a non-compensating euphonium is very satisfactory. If, however, you wish to be a professional player, get into a military band, or get into the really advanced solos, you will need the compensating system for that. The reason being, the compensating system, which you can usually tell by looking at these tubes on the back, the non-compensating horns don't have these. What those tubes do is they come into play when you get down to the low register, where the fingerings normally become quite sharp because of adding all these valves together mathematically doesn't work out very well. So with the compensating system, I'm able to play normal fingerings down through a scale into the low register. So far we don't need the compensating system, but going below that we do. Now I can play that scale on a non-compensating instrument, but I wouldn't be using the same fingerings. I like having the same fingerings throughout the range, so the same patterns in the right hand with the added fourth valve. That's handy as you're playing exercises down there or some of the technical solos that go down there. The compensating system does that for us. The compensating system does not give us more range specifically, except perhaps for the very bottom note of the instrument down there, where it's theoretically a half step more available with the compensating system. So really, for a significant number of players out there, the compensating system is an option, a nice to have, but not a necessity. Now we have the option with the sonic of a professional quality instrument made the same way as this one is. That is, it's constructed by hand from sheet brass. I'll tell you about that in a minute. The sonic is made that way without the compensating system. It is 2/3 the price of the standard E1 on which its design is based. So by buying a sonic, you have a horn that plays a lot like the E1 for 2/3 the price. It doesn't have the compensating system, so that would be a disadvantage if you wanted to play those lower notes I was talking about. However, it's an advantage because the whole horn is now lighter. It doesn't have these extra tubes on the back. It doesn't have the longer valves that are required to support the compensating system. So that lowers the weight of the horn. That's good for all of us. It lowers the weight of the valves, so they feel a little bit quicker as you use them. And it makes the horn slightly less resistant because the air doesn't have to travel through quite so many curves as it goes from the mouthpiece to the bell. So there are advantages to a non-compensating horn. In my 26 years with the Coast Guard band, very few of the band pieces actually required a range where the compensating system would give you some convenience in fingerings. Probably 99% of the band literature that you might encounter in a community band, for example, does not require those notes. So it's a very practical instrument for many people. Lower price, lower weight, and still a professional quality instrument. That's half of why I find that it's so exciting. So again, the idea of the sonic is somewhat new in that it's a professional quality instrument, made every bit the same way as the E1, which is certainly professional quality, except for the compensating system. Same construction, same people building it, and the same materials used. Now the sonic is offered in .55 brass only, that's the thickness of the brass walls. The E1 and E3 and the custom lines are offered in multiple thicknesses. My own horn is a .60 brass, so slightly thicker. The other half of my excitement for the sonic is that the intonation is just remarkably good. The Adams already have the best intonation I've ever found on a euphonium, and I've graphed most of the ones that I've played so you can look at my website and compare them directly. The sonic adds a little bit smoother intonation yet, probably because the air path is smoother in the non-compensating instrument. And because it's built to the same quality as the compensating horns, we end up with an advantage in the intonation area as well. So a lot of things to be excited about with the Sonic. It's cheaper, it's lighter, and it's better in tune if you don't need the compensating system. So as you listen to the videos, you can compare the sound directly between the Sonic and the Adams E1 and see what you think. Give a listen now. I hope you found that helpful. As I played them, certainly, and as I listened to the recording as well, I found the sound quality very similar. They both have an open singing sound, which is what I like about the Adams line. It's a musical sound, I would say. I can bend it to suit different flavors of music. I'm not tied to one sound concept by an instrument that's sort of stubbornly in one area. I can move it around a little bit. Otherwise, they sound similar. So I think you'll find the Sonic is a very exciting horn for many people. If you need a compensating horn, then you don't care. The Sonic is a curiosity, and that's fine. If you don't need the compensating system, give the Sonic a try. It's a remarkable instrument. I think you'll like it. Thanks for listening.